Hello, everyone. Welcome to tonight's live. I want to invite you to join in the conversation tonight because it's all about, retirement, and that shouldn't mean stress. It's not about stress. It's about how to secure your future life. Hi, Ronaldo. Welcome. So, let me ask you tonight some questions around what's your biggest retirement worry? Like, drop it in the comments and let me know. Let me know where you're tuning in from as well. That'd be fantastic. And, let me know what your biggest retirement worry is right now. Because I know for me it wasn't that long ago and I was super, super concerned a year ago. Hi, Jeannie, welcome. Hi, Ava Close. Welcome. So, it wasn't that long ago I was in that same boat and I was really worried, sick about what I was doing, where I was. Hi, Valeria, Casanova, and Baz, welcome. Let me know where you're joining in from. I'd love to know where you are, whether you're in Australia or whether you're overseas. I'm Donna. I'm in Australia. I'm in the Northern Rivers of New South Wales. Hi, Amani. Hi, Sheehan. Hi, Beyonce. Hi, Maddie. Welcome. Thanks for the love on the live, Ginny. Thank you. So, it was only 12 months ago and I really felt like, life pretty much sucked for us, to be honest. Welcome, Ivan. It really did. And it was because, I was in my 60s and I really definitely didn't, it was honestly one of those things that Fed income, hello, welcome. So it was one of those things where, life just really takes its toll financially on you when you're trying to sort of keep up with the thanks for sharing. Thank you, appreciate it. Yep, okay, I can't say that. Where do you go and what do you do? And, waking up and being fearful of actually really, concerned about whether or not you would have a deposit in your bank or whether or not you would wake up to another overdraw fee. Which was pretty frightening. And those fees take up a lot of money over a period of time. So, it was really one of those things where you haven't got enough to kind of make sure you can cover everything, but you haven't also got, you're in a situation where you don't have a choice financially because, inflation was a killer. The rent increases and, this was all over a period of about 4 years. The rents increased, made it really hard to find a place to rent. You had to pretty much take what you could get. And the rents were so high, so damn high. So welcome, Tyler. Hi, Ree. So, where do you go and what do you do? And thanks for all the shares. What do you do? So, retirement, really, I got to a point where I was sick and tired of it, feeling like retirement was just stress. And I wanted to find a way where, hi, Dr. Silly. I've had many jobs. My first job when I was 16 was in a shop. Like I worked in a store, and it was like a department store. There was lots of different sections. So but that was when I was 16. So I've had a lot of jobs since then. And so, you know, what is it that really concerns you about retirement? You know, do you have enough savings, or is it fear of running out of money, you know, to last your retirement life? Or, you know, do you feel like you've got to keep working until you're 60, 70, 80, you know, before you can stop? And even then, will you really have enough to, hey, Jay, welcome. And will you have enough? You know, will you have enough to last even if you're working up until you're 80? So it's just, you know, it's heart-wrenching when I see so many people. So when you see so many people, I mean, I know in Canada, there's 50% of the retired pensioners are homeless because there's literally, they cannot afford to pay the high inflated rent prices. So, you know, I know what it's like to feel like, are you going to have a roof over your head tomorrow? Do you know, you know, if you're going to make enough to, you know, keep you safe for another month? You know, are you going to have the rent money? Are you going to have food money? Are you going to, you know, it's stress, it's overwhelm, and it's bloody exhausting, to be honest. So start work early and suffer less. I'm not sure what you mean, because sometimes it's not about, you know, I started working when I was 16. I'm 67 now, so it wasn't lack of work or starting early. You know, put in all those extra hours, and do you get overtime if you start early? What is that, you know? Do you get paid overtime? I'm not sure. A lot of people just put in the hours because they don't want to be put in a position where their jobs might end. And that happens too. Talking to somebody last week, they worked 18 years for a company and they were fired over a Zoom call. Like, really? You know, and it's very real. And there's people, this is just one of many people that this is happening to. So, you know, when you're living paycheck to paycheck and still barely getting by and still barely, you know, having that, what do you call it? Having that gap between getting by and being able to save enough and put enough away so you've got a decent retirement, you know, what's the answer? What do? You know, then you've got rising costs like bills, you know, power, groceries, it's all going up. It's crazy. There's got to be another way. There has to be another way. And, you know, this was literally where I grow your skill. Well, that's exactly right. You know, it was only 12 months ago that I moved into the digital marketing space, which I knew nothing about. So I did grow my skills, and I had an education. I had coaching. You know, there were so many things that I was qualified for. But in a job where you're working for a paycheck, you can only get so much money as well. TikToko, that's all you can get. Like, your boss is not going to say, well, here's another 50,000 this month just to cover, you know, whatever extra time you've put in. It doesn't work that way. So when I moved into the digital space, I had said no so many times that because I didn't understand the digital space. I didn't understand how it worked. I thought I had to build a website, thought I had to create the products, and that was not true. I had everything done for me. And, you know, 12 months later, now I'm in a much, you know, I've got a much brighter future ahead of me. You know, I did upskill. I've learned things in the last year that I never thought that I would learn. Hey, Caitlin, welcome. So, you know, you do upskill. You're absolutely correct. So, there's things that you can do that makes a difference, where you can still dictate your own income without being limited. So, there's a lot of retirement woes out there that just literally create havoc in people's lives. And, most of us who are at retirement age were brought up to work 40 plus years, work 40 plus hours a week, come home tired and exhausted, fit as much as you can into the weekend, and then turn around and do it all again. But the truth is that's just not enough anymore. The struggle is very real, and there's more people becoming homeless. We see quite a few homeless people around here, but the number of homeless that's increased over the last month is phenomenal. And, it's like we didn't have that many people around here a month ago, but they're just turning up every day, more and more of them. And so, working paycheck to paycheck just isn't enough anymore. Hey, Good Vibe, welcome. Thanks for joining me again. So it's just not realistic. So we have to find another way. And that's when I did find this digital marketing. And, if you're open to being able to earn income online, you don't need a lot of time or tech skills to do it. You need little to none, no tech skills, in fact. Like, I'm not tech savvy at all, and I managed to be able to do this every single day, but I only do 2 hours a day. So how does that sound? Does that sound like something that would be of interest? Drop a 1 in the comments. The myth about online business and having to work hard is just not true. Hey, Jenny, yeah. So, well, if you're interested in finding out more, there's a website link in my bio. Copy and paste that. We'll ask you for an email address, and if you've got any questions, I would be more than happy to reply to your email and just, answer any questions that you have. I think it's really important. But you can ask questions right now as well. If there's something you want to know about the online space, that's absolutely fine. But again, like I resist, for 3 years, people have been bringing up, hi, India. Hi, Holly. Oh, really? Okay. Where do I know you from, Holly? So yeah, when, I said no to digital marketing for so long because I didn't understand it. And when you don't have an understanding of something, it's easier to say no than it is to say yes and then find out more after. So, what if I was to say to you, what would you do if your retirement was fully covered financially? What would you do? Would you travel? Would you help your family out? Would you rest more? Would you, what are your dreams? What do you want to do? So, what would you do with that if you didn't have to worry about money ever again? How would that make you feel if you had that? Hi, Lena. I know for me, when I started this business, I literally started to see more for myself. My dreams got bigger, my goals got bigger, my vision got bigger, like everything just changed. And, it's a shift. It's a shift that comes with the peace of mind, knowing that your retirement is set for you, that, all you have to do is 2 hours a day and you can make this work. you do need to know that it's not going to happen if you don't put in an effort yourself. You do need to do some work. So that's definitely a what's this? So that's definitely something that is of interest as well. So there's a lot of programs out there that tell you everything's all done. We're here to support you. Hi, Paigey, welcome. But honestly, you buy the program and then you don't see or hear from them ever again. Like, honestly, that just leaves a really bad taste in your mouth. Hi, Tamika. And, that's happened to me many times. You're not on your own if you feel that. Like, it definitely isn't something, what's it called? The program, it's the Legacy Builder program. It is a Legacy Builder program which is about digital marketing. It's got a step-by-step system that you can easily follow. It's all on videos, but also you are given a community, which I'm just going to, when you join, because there's people from all around the world that are in this, and I'm just going to click on here because, on here, because this is the community, 51,000 in the community, and they're all here to help you. And let's just refresh this page. They share everything that's going on, their wins. Somebody who's homeschooling her kids, 2,400 in one day. Like, these are real people. These are real things, somebody made their first sale. People talking about doing their first videos. So their win doesn't have to be a financial status, but so all the wins help. Yeah, I'm not sure. So, there's a lot of support there, not just from me either. It's people who, whatever time zone you're in, you're never going to be on your own. Why won't this do what I want it to do? Right. That's pretty gross. So we're not going to have that. People just really have no respect. So yeah, it's like there's a lot to be thankful for in this business, because even though you own this business and you're certified 100% of this business is yours, then you literally are never left on your own. So I actually am building my very own community, like the one I just showed you as well, where I nurture my people and I help them with mindset, and strategies, and, we work on, freeing up that any blocks that might be there. And whether you're in the Legacy Builder program or not, that's something you can still be part of. But, waking up and, feeling like, you've had a peaceful sleep, you feel like you're at peace, and you're waking up to see deposits rather than, more overdraw fees on your bank account, it's an incredible feeling. Those notifications just keep coming in, and, they're just, you get notified every time. It goes directly into your account of choice. So everything is simple and done. And there's no, and if you need help with anything, if, I'm here in Australia, but there's people all around the world that are available, so 24/7. Is something pretty amazing that you don't get anywhere else. I've never had that in a community before. So it's income without worry. We show you daily strategies. You get live interactive calls with a $1 million mentor who has started in this business in 2022 and had absolutely no digital marketing knowledge, didn't have a TikTok account, so didn't even know how to set it up. And she's all she wanted to do was have time with her kids. She was a single mom of 6 kids. All she really wanted to do was be there because one of her children was an athlete, and she wanted to make sure she could go to all his athletic meets around the country in the US, and she didn't want to miss those moments. So that was her goal, that she never had to miss another moment. Now, if you've got children, you know what that feels like, right? It's so nice to know that you're there for them and that you can support them, and to be able to leave a legacy so that they never have to worry about struggling with financial freedom ever again. Or ever go through what maybe you had to go through, or work so hard that they're exhausted and they're sick and tired of the long hours, then this is a great opportunity to be able to set them up as well. And I can tell you that you don't have to be 20 or 30 to do this. Many people in their retirement are starting this business. Why are they starting it in retirement? Because the pension is not enough to live on. It's barely enough to survive on. They're not thriving. They're compromising their lifestyle to just get a pittance of a paycheck every 2 weeks here in Australia, right? So why would you want that struggle when you can actually have ease and flow and follow a simple blueprint and proven system with sharing how to make 10K in 30 days? And if you follow the system, people are making that much money and more, absolutely making more as well. So, there's 103 6-figure earners in this business. There are half a dozen that are 500,000 or more already in this business. Thanks, Essie. You're welcome. And so anything is possible. And there are people, I can't believe it. There's this lady in, I can't remember where she's from. Maybe Barbados. She is 80 and she started this business. So, you know what I mean? Like 80-year-olds are doing this. And they don't have tech skills because they weren't brought up in, in an era where tech skills were something they needed to have. So they're learning everything. So it's easy, right? Yeah, the weather's not too bad. Thanks, Essie. So, anybody can do this. 80-year-olds, 70-year-olds, 60-year-olds, 20-year-olds. It doesn't matter. They're all doing it. There's single mums who are doing it because they don't want to leave their kids at home or, with a babysitter. There's homeschoolers. They're doing this so that they're homeschooling, but it gives them the extra income. So they're not sacrificing financial well-being. And you know what? Once you are emotionally joyful, then everything else happens. Everything else just happens. Hi, Amelia. I think you were on here a couple of days ago. Yeah. So, do you know what I mean? Like, it can be so easy. It can be so easy. Hi, Zalia. Hi, cool cucumber. How cool is that? So, it's the benefits that you reap from the seeds that you sow. You will always be rewarded. But if you sit there and feel like you don't want to work for this, you don't want to put 2 hours in a day, then it's not for you, and that's okay. So, are you stressing about your financial future in retirement, or stressing about it right now? Are you retired and feel like you don't know how you're going to get through the next 20 years? Because if you are, you can start building something that really works. And I've done a lot of stuff. I've done multi-level marketing, network marketing, affiliate marketing. I've done all sorts of things, in the online space. And to be honest, the promises are empty. But this does work. This does work. So if you want something that really want to start building something online that really does work, then this would be for you. This would definitely be for you. And, it's not something you have to chase. You don't have to chase family and friends. It's a rejection-free business. So all your leads all your automation is set up so that your leads, you're not even following up your leads, right? Hi, Iffy. Your leads actually just get followed up in the system from your email that anybody can reply to if they've got questions. Which, Jenny, I think that's what I mentioned to you. If you put it in, your email address in, I've got a website in my bio above. If you copy and paste that website into a new search bar, then you will get, it'll pop up with to put your email address in, and you put your email address in. And then if you've got any questions, you can certainly email me, reply to that email, and I'll be sure to come back to you with any answers. So if you think this is something, hey Bella, welcome. Oh, great work, Ginny. Well done. I'll know when that goes through because I'll see it in my back office. So excellent. That's great news. So, I think if you're really serious about changing your future, this can definitely work for you. Thanks for the rose, Louie. Welcome. So there's 4 packages. The Legacy Builder package gives you 4 income streams that are already there waiting for you when you join. And that one's $900, but they start at $100. So there's 4 packages, one at $100, one at $300, one at $600, and one at $900. Now, the only other thing is you do have a $39 website fee to pay. And that's your website all done for you. Hi, Bobo Bear. So, and Spaghetti, welcome. So that's all that gets you up and running. And then literally you follow videos. It's all there. Like I can literally show you just quickly. If you're interested in having a look, I can show you that right now as well. So let me show you what happens when you go in here. So when you go in here, you will get, this is view on my product. So we go in there at the top and it brings everything up. Now you've got the Legacy Builder program, which is the $900 one, which I mentioned to you. And then you have Digital Mastery, which is the $600. And you will also get the Passive Daily Pay is $300 and the Launchpad, which is $100. Now, if you were only to buy the Launchpad, you would only have 1 income stream. But if you buy the Passive Daily Pay, you will get both the passive daily pay and the Launchpad as your 2 income streams. And if you were to buy this digital mastery, you'll get the 3. And then, of course, with the Legacy Builder, you get 4 income streams because you get to resell all of them. And it's licensed, so it gives you credibility and you get bonuses. But it's all here, guys. It is so easy to maneuver around that website and around that back office where all your systems are, where all your training goes in. And it's digital marketing. So in a sense, you're selling, but the thing is, we teach you and show you how to attract your ideal customer, what strategies to put in place that work for you, and also you get training on how to go about doing your posts, how to, attract people into the business for you. So, for instance, I do TikTok mostly for this business. I post 3 pieces of content usually a day, and I go live once a day. Now, I don't go live on Sunday nights. Here in Australia, that would be Saturday. Over in the US. It might be Sunday morning actually. But I literally, that's what I do. So my 2-hour day that I work is literally creating my 3 pieces of content. And my life's easy because I'm just talking to you guys, right? I'm just having a conversation. And that's what it's about. So thanks for the follow, Ryan. Hello, welcome. So that's what it's about. It's about having a conversation. And it's about, we know stories work. So what's your story? You'll learn to understand how to tell that story the best way so that, you can talk to people about what's real. Being authentic is very much what this business is about. So, I'm building my own community. So, exactly. So it's, the community, when you join this program, you automatically get access to a community. And then if you get access to, if you do join this, then you will have access to my community as well. So, so absolutely. So, let's have a chat. You'll get an email from me, Ginny. So please, hey Ruth, welcome. So feel free to reply to that email so that we can then organize a conversation more one-on-one. And see, Ruth's part of my community as well, and she's part of the Digital Marketing Legacy Builder program. So we jump on each other's lives. The community members do this, and we support each other. So you get support all the time. When you get that email, Ginny, I can organize to give you access to that community as well. So, thanks for the rose. Thank you. Absolutely. You can join my community and we can, you'll learn more about all those sorts of things as well within that community. That's always a good place to start as well. But absolutely, I'd love to have a conversation with you further so that we can discuss that. Or, even in that email, when you reply to that, just ask for the details on my community. So it doesn't matter if you're under 50, Oscar, it won't matter at all. It's not just for it's not just for 50-year-olds, but they're mainly the people that I talk to. But I've worked with many different people, many different ages, so it's not specific to that. Eli, I'm just wrapping up now, so no, I won't be inviting you to join me today. So But yeah, like this is just a great way to supplement your retirement. So anyway, guys, we are over the 30 minutes now. So thank you everybody for being here. I appreciate it. And I'll be back tomorrow night, same time. So I look forward to talking to you all then. Appreciate all the love, Ginny. Thank you so much. And I look forward to having a conversation with you very soon. So let's organize that as soon as we can and we'll get that sorted. So I'll see you all tomorrow night, same time, same channel. Bye.